do it all, everything on our own.
Hi, I'm Caroline, and I want to introduce to you the rehabilitation benefits that can be achieved with PowerPlate. Now, most of us are familiar with PowerPlate in the context of a health club or a studio, but very few realise the true benefit that it has within the rehabilitation field. So I'm here in Cambridgeshire, outside Standing Start, which is an active rehabilitation unit for people with spinal cord injuries. The physios will work with them here to incorporate PowerPlate into a very special programme, so we can head inside and find out exactly what it is that they do.
Would you lie with me and just for
I'm inside now with Peter, the founder of Standing Start.
Nearly 5 years ago, I had a motorcycle accident that part of the accident virtually completely severed my spinal cord, and that's what's caused the paralysis that I had.
So what inspired you to set up Standing Start?
But I was put onto a place called Project Walk, based in California, and I thought, well, let's go and give it a try and see how it is. And over there they developed a program that is really an exercise-based program that helps re-educate the nervous system. We finally started Standing Start 2 years ago, and got two great trainers on board, Andy and Jenny. It's been a slow building process, but the good thing is every single person who's come through the door we've had some improvement with, and there's been some benefit. And that's really what it's about in the end of the day. It's the work we do here. If it can then help somebody with their day-to-day life, improve the small pieces, that's wonderful.
How did you first come across PowerPlate and think to incorporate it within what you do here?
I first came across PowerPlate with Project Walk. In the very early days, they developed a relationship with PowerPlate and Project Walk, and we started to find some of the benefits. And it was seen as one of their valuable pieces of equipment. And so as we started to develop Standing Start, we started to build the equipment we had. I always felt that PowerPlate was a vital piece of equipment we needed. The difficulty we had is that, again, it's not seen as being used in this sort of work. It's not really used in rehabilitation work and that sort of thing. So when we talk to other specialists in relation to spinal cord injury and say that we use PowerPlate and the vibration plate, they look somewhat quizzically at us. And this is where it's useful, where we video pieces of people working on there, and we can get testimonials from the people who are using the equipment to really understand the benefits. And I know that certainly places like Stoke Mandeville are now starting to take a greater interest in what we're doing with vibration plates.
So what are the benefits that you see with the clients that you have here at Standing Start?
Like, for example, what's sat on the ball there. That's the biggest example I can give of what it feels like when you have a spinal cord injury, when all these muscles you have no control over. And if
I take my feet
away off the floor, that's really what it feels like. Now, it's very easy to balance just like that, but you imagine trying to eat your dinner, have a drink, or do anything else in that sort of condition.
So that's what you're trying to improve and overcome initially?
Exactly. And then being able to give that extra core strength means that somebody can get away from propping themselves up when they're eating their dinner, so they're just using a fork or a spoon. So then suddenly being able to sit up properly and use a knife and fork. Now that helps you not only do things, but it helps you feel normal. So that if you're sat around a table with everybody else, you're using a knife and fork, you feel the same as everybody else, you look the same as everybody else. So it's not just the physical benefits, it's the psychological benefits that are very important.
If I lay here, if I just lay here, would you lie with me and just forget the world?
Two very important people here at Standing Start are the physiotherapists that implement the programme, and that's Andy and Jenny. Hi guys. Now Jenny, firstly, in what way is PowerPlate incorporated into the programme here?
Right, we're trying to incorporate the PowerPlate as much as we can with our clients from day one. For example, when a client first comes into us, we get them standing pretty much straight away from the first session that we have with them. Once we realise how much benefit the PowerPlate will give to them, we then try different exercises. So, for example, we'll get somebody doing a 4-point position on there, like a cat would be in, as well as a high kneeling position. And we also just change the stimulation that the client is receiving, and just depend on how much benefit they get from it.
And Andy, what are the specific benefits of power play for people with spinal cord injuries?
Well, we certainly see an activation in the muscles, roughly around about the injury level. So when they're actively contracting the muscle, we may see a little bit of fatigue start to creep in as we're doing the exercises. If we put the power plate on, and it just allows them to perhaps do 1 or 2 reps more, or in some cases 5 reps more, which allows us to improve their strength and endurance.
Andy, this is quite a contraption that's been built around the power plate. In fact, I found it hard to spot the machine when I came in the door. What is it you've done here, and how does it assist the exercises?
It basically brings the floor level up to the level of the power plate and allows us to position the clients in a position that will allow them to do these various exercises.
So Sally, what brought you to Standing Start?
Well, I heard about Standing Start when I was at Stoke Mandeville Spinal Injuries Unit. And I realised when I left hospital that there wasn't any physio options for me, and so I got in contact with Standing Start just to see if they could help in any way with the predicament that I was in.
Which was, what happened to you?
I had a spinal stroke caused by a bit of cartilage that had disattached itself from one of my discs and pushed onto the spinal cord.
So it was very rare.
Very rare, quite special.
So, how did that make you feel, and then what hope did you get from coming across a place like this?
It's such a sudden shock when anyone loses the use of their legs, and then you have such a slow recovery process trying to get your life back together, and it's very depressing, and it's very difficult to see positives out of the situation. And Standing Start have been fantastic because they give you hope, and they give you goals, and they make you feel like there is something you can strive for. Unfortunately, when you leave hospital, you tend to feel that you're on a bit of a plateau.
And that's where power plate has been able to play quite a role in your core and feeling that awareness of where your legs are.
Absolutely, because it's so difficult to actually feel what you're standing on. If you're standing up, it's so important to be able to get some feeling coming through your legs so you can actually work out where you're placing yourself and how you're standing.
Kiss your mouth, your eyes, your face.
And what benefits have you seen so far?
Just all the simple things that you take for granted that have just got a lot easier. It's been such a steady progress that you kind of forget how bad you were until you look back at what you couldn't do before. Like just simple things like when I'm showering, I can now, without holding on, I can wash my hair and stuff like that. Just simple things like that. And
the everyday things.
Yeah, transferring in and out of the car and getting dressed and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, of course. And you use power plate as part of your programme.
Yeah.
How do you find it, and what's the experience been?
It's really good because even before I started coming here, even just sitting in the car with vibration from the car going along, I used to get more sensation and tingling in my legs. So I was really excited about being able to go on that and see what effects that would have. And it definitely gives me more sensation, and it seems to react with my muscles really well. My stability gets much better, and as the sit-ups and things are really improved.
How inspiring, and it's amazing to see the work that they're doing here at Standing Start and the effect and benefit that power plate has on people with such profound injuries.
Because you can actually sort of relate more to your legs. You start getting more messages up from your legs as to where your feet are.
I always get loads more sensation, really motivated. It's just incredible what you can do when someone gives you the right sort of environment to do it.
It's about people being able to have to be fully included in their community and in their environment. The physical work we do here hopefully gives them the tools to do that.